Hello everyone, it's SS the Showstopper, and I'm here back once more on the Devil Advocate channel. And on my topic today, I want to talk about something that a lot of people have addressed. A lot of people have messaged me saying that they want to speak on it. I wasn't ready, I was planning to, but I wasn't ready to address the issue because I'm not 100% well researched on it, but I know a few things enough to proceed. Um, the topic today that I really want to address is skin bleaching. Yes, skin bleaching. And I made some jottings just to, if I go off track, I can remember the pointers that I've had in mind to speak on. And we know there are so much nuances when it comes to the topic of bleaching, skin bleaching. Many people talk about self-hate. That's the main one. People address the issue of self-hate. People address the issue of low self-esteem. That's also one that they speak about highly when it comes to skin bleaching. They also speak on naturality. Women should love their naturalness, or men should love their naturalness. They also speak on skin cancer, and most, if not all of them, are really negative when you think about it, all the issues and the nuances that revolves around skin bleaching. And what I have to say is, why why do people bleach their skin, whether it be a man, a woman, male, female? you know I say male female because there's a difference between a man and a male, and there's a difference between a female and a woman. So I say man, woman, male, female. But I want to address the issue of why people do it and the solution, because remember, my channel is basically around this type of things that you think about, you really try to avoid, but I enlighten it and I offer a practical solution. And when I'm looking into the topic of why people bleach their skin, it's so much things. A lot of times, you are right. It has to do with self-hate. Not for everybody, but for a lot of people. You can't pinpoint who hates themselves either. You can only speculate because you have never have a sat down or have a conversation with someone who actually bleaches their skin to get a full in-depth understanding and an overview of why that particular person do it or a group of people will do it. We only go by what's in our mind, what we think, our opinion, and oftentimes it's skewed. Oftentimes we're incorrect. Oftentimes you're also correct. One of them, yes, it has to do with self-hate. A lot of people don't like the way how they were born looking. A lot of people look into society and realize that there are certain type of people who are white, very light skin next to white, that gets preferences, whether it be for a job, whether it be for promotion, whether it be for certain field, especially in the entertainment field. A lot of people will get the preference being of very light or white skin tone. So many black women, in particular dark skin women, because you have black women that are light skin and black women that are also dark skin. So in particular, a lot of dark skinned women have repeatedly complained about not being able to be the object of attraction or object of affection in a music video because of her skin tone. And they are also used as mainly the sex object in a music video. And so that's also one of it. I speak on music video because I'm in entertainment. I do music also. And so I'm well aware of a lot of things and a lot of complaint that women keep posting, and they're having to say about the reason for doing it. Now, that doesn't equate to self-hate, but that's just one of the reasons a lot of women lighten their skin, bleach their skin, because some of them feel rejected. Rejected. Nobody wants to address the word reject or reject, which is the individual. A lot of people don't want to, but it does exist. A lot of people feel rejected. They feel like they are negative. They are the bad side of attraction. They are undesirable. They are not the selected amount. They are not the desired amount. And so they alter their skin tone to feel accepted. Remember that we live in a world where slavery existed. And during slavery, one of the main things that they pushed was to make black people, in particular dark people, well, at the time most people were dark because the light skin came out from mixing with black and white. Most people were dark, so the ideologies of slavery was to keep black people and make them feel inferior about themselves. Moving on from slavery, we're at a time now where people are doing it based on free will. So it's not everything that you can associate back to slavery. Some part of it, because remember, if it comes under self-hate, there are some parts of it that you still have to relate to slavery. Because when it comes to any form of nuances, whether it be skin color, whether it be skin bleaching, you have to understand that there are two things that are at the top and the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to it. And one of them are slavery, and the other is the media, because they have done an excellent job in making people feel inferior, because inferiority is of value. It's negative, but it is of value. If I can make you feel bad and I can project something else and make it look like a better version of you, then you will buy into it over time, because there's no reflection of you that is projected in the media that looks positive, that looks wholesome, that does not play into the stereotype. And what stereotype comes from? Slavery again, wherein the images of black people are, if they're not a laughing sambo, they are a coon, they are hoochie mama, they are a mammy, they are all these kind of things. These were the images of people that were projected as inferior, and they projected these images to people who did not own slaves and never encounter with a black person. So if I project a man from Poland and he's always stealing, if that's what I'm pushing through the media for decades, that guys from Poland are thieves, or guys from Nicaragua are killers, the moment you see, if over 40, 50 years, 60 years, going to a century, if the moment you see a guy from Nicaragua, you're going to automatically think that he's a killer. That's the first thing that is going to come to your mind, because you are actually programmed. So you're now born into it. After a certain generation, you're now born into it. It's like you're naturally programmed to think that way. You see a guy from Poland, the first time you're meeting him, you're going to automatically think that he's a thief, because over a time period, it's already programmed in the mind to think that way. So it's like a vampire system. I can bite you and just leave you to go and bite other people. So when you program this thing into a group of people over a certain time period, you can just leave them, because their children and their children's children will project the same thing, and people will have the same notion of them, which is stereotype. So the self-hate of not wanting to look the way how you were, that's one of the reasons many people bleach themselves. I will admit to that. The other one is also the self-esteem, which comes, it's borderline with self-hate, but it's not entirely, because remember that, as I said, self-esteem and the nuances of self-hate and stuff like that are what? The pendulum behind it is the media and slavery. Remember that we weren't born with self-esteem. These are things that are taught. These are part of the integrity of a man. We weren't born with it. We were taught growing up, and the first teacher is our parents. And based on what they teach, that's what will be reflected also in the society. Then we go into institutions, and they teach it, but there are a lot of prejudice that are also taught in school, and it's practical, it's not theoretical. Means that they're not going to put on paper to say all light-skinned student in 2018, 2015, so forth, all light-skinned student, please come to the front, or all white student, please come to the front, and the dark-skinned ones stay at the back. That's what they used to do in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 40s. You know, they could have been extremely direct. Now they're covert, wherein people get preferential treatment based on their skin tone without you. You are not going to be able to point it out, because they're covert with it. It means that they're hiding it. They put it in system, so you won't be able to tell the difference. Now, when I come out and I speak on it, then somebody else is going to object and say, no, that's not true. It was just because of her ability to do well, or his ability to do well. But when you look deeper into the root of the matter, you will realize that it all has to do with how the person look, their skin color. Because what people don't understand is that racist people that are racist, they never sleep on it, they never rest. Anytime they're in a position of power, that's the time they inject it. And once the opportunity is available, they will inject it. They don't rest. They inject themselves in position of power, and the media is one of those positions that they inject racism into. And so after a while, as I said before, it just comes naturally. So self-esteem, how we see ourselves as women, as men, that plays into one of the reasons people bleach themselves. Another thing that a lot of men need to understand is that women, we project ourselves, or we see ourselves based on the men in our world. So if a man from Japan happens to like women that has blonde hair and blue eyes, guess what most women in Japan will start doing? They will start bleaching their hair, they will wear contact lenses, and if you go on tutorial, you will see a lot of Japanese women or a lot of Asian women putting in these large contact lenses to look different, to alter their beauty and to look different, because that's what the men in their world prefer. They want these Japanese women or these Asian women with these large open eyes instead of these slanted eyes, which the women were naturally born with. So you find a lot of them doing that. And you also find a lot of Asian people that bleach, you know. I'll get into that a little later. So self-esteem plays a very vital part in it, and women view themselves based on the men that are in their world. So whatever it is that the mass is now desiring, you're going to alter yourself to that, because misogyny is also one of the pendulum. Misogyny, media, slavery is also one of the pendulum that puts people into perspective when they view themselves, and is also one of the reasons why women bleach their skin, you know. Another one reason is that people just do it because they feel like doing it. It's like you can't stop it. It's like something, it's like a trend now. So you find people 20, 15 years ago that wouldn't think of doing these kind of things, and now it's just a trend. You know, you find light skinned people bleaching. You understand me? It's just a trend. It's a trend. It's just something that they want to be a part of. You know, sometimes you want to be a part of something that is hip, that is going on. It doesn't mean that, I'm sorry, hold on a minute. It doesn't mean that it affects you. It doesn't mean that it's taken away from you. They just want to be a part of something because that's what's going on right now. And they just want to fit in. They just want to enjoy the moment. Sooner or later, they will stop. So that's one of the reasons. People do it because they just feel like doing it, you know. And that's one of the things that we have to accept, because it's also true. People do it. You see, you find out Beyonce doing it. You'll find Rihanna. You'll find Nicki Minaj. All these famous people that are lightening their skin tone, and then they have their stands that say, defend them to the end, like Chucky, and say that, oh, they're not doing it. It's nothing. They're not bleaching their skin. It's just a lighting. It's just a camera. If I'm from a country that knows exactly what bleaching looks like and what people, I can tell you, I can see, and I can tell you that women naturally, they are doing it to their skin also, you know. But we give them an excuse, you know. And we have to understand that people will do what they please. People don't owe you anything to explain themselves as they go along every step of the way. They owe it to their children, they owe it to their family, but they don't necessarily owe it to you. So whether or not the person is doing it, we can speculate. If they wish to come forward and say it, if they wish not to, then we can just leave them alone. It is what it is. You know, you find also an attack from the pro-black community, in particular black men, who have a problem with a whole lot of things that women are doing. And one of them is bleaching. They like women that are natural also. You find pro-black women who are also chiming in and saying that they hate women that bleach their skin, women that wear weave. Yet these are a lot of women that wear makeup, they wear heels. And studies have proven that the same self-esteem that you use, low self-esteem that you use to bleach your skin, is the same self-esteem that if you're short, you wear heels to look taller as a woman. Or if your hair is short, you wear weave, so you want a longer hair, or you want to cut whatever it is that you want to do. You want to wear makeup. It's the same self-esteem. It's the same self-esteem. It's not a self-esteem hidden somewhere that makes a person use cream or lightening cream to alter their skin tone. It's the same self-esteem. So while you're pro-blacking all day, all night, and saying and attacking people because they do this to their body, they do that to their body, you wearing heels, you're doing the same thing. You understand? It's nothing different. It's nothing special. Hold on one moment. The other reason people do it is also self-love. Yes, the opposite of self-hate. So you can hate yourself for doing it and you can love yourself also for doing it. You can view it as a better version of yourself. You can do because you just want to look different. You don't want to look the same as when you were 9 years old or when you were 18 years old or when you were 15 years old. You just want to look different. Like you're 22 years old, you want to look like 22. You want to look like a different you. You want to feel different about yourself. That's the reason people put their hair in blue color, yellow, pink. They weren't born looking like that. No human being was born with a pink hair or a blue hair, but they just want to look different. You understand me? Not everything is about your centric and your standard. Not everything is about it, you know. And I find it very strange that the Asian countries are famous for bleaching their skin tone, but when it comes to a black woman, it's an attack. It's like an annihilation on the self-esteem and the image of black women because we are so wrong for doing this. We should love ourselves regardless of how the media project us, regardless of how we should love ourselves, and it's all self-hate and there's nothing wrong with your natural skin tone. Yet most of the men who are claiming that they like a natural black woman, they like a black woman that does not look black. They rather these Amber Woods looking look alike black women. They like the what should I say, the Kim Kardashian type of black woman. They like they like the what's her name, the Cardi B type of black woman, the black women that do not actually look black. They look racially ambiguous. These are oftentimes the type of black women that these men are going for. Yet they're saying that you should be complacent, you should be happy, you should love yourself. But at the end of the day, do know that you are going to be rejected by me because I do not like how you look. I prefer a woman that's lighter skin, that has straighter hair or loose curl hair, and that's her natural identity. That's what I like and that's what I prefer. But you being dark skinned with your natural 4C hair should understand that that's my preference. Respect it, but remain natural just as is, and accept that I will attack you when your hair is natural, because black women are being called nappy head hooligans. They are calling beast, they're being called all these derogatory names when they have their natural hair, and they a lot of time it's by black men. You understand me? And I'm finding it very strange how you are forcing people and telling them that they should accept themselves, yet you are not reflecting the acceptance in your mind, in your action. It's not being reflected. It's like you're saying to a boxer that he should accept being defeated and he should know that he's defeated and work within the defeat and love the fact that he's defeated no matter what. That seems to me what you're saying to the person. If you love someone so much, wouldn't you want a reflection of them in your life? If you claim to be pro-black, wouldn't you want a reflection of that person in your life? No, you don't. You want something else. And because of you wanting something else, you are finding all these intricacies of why the person should be like this or why the person should remain, and you're just going preference. First and foremost, preference. When you go on preference, what is preference? Preference is really like selecting and deselecting people, especially when it's for another person. You're selecting and deselecting people based on their physical appearance. It's like me wanting a tall guy. I am rejecting a short guy because it therefore means that I'm not going to give someone short a chance. If I want a light skinned guy or I want a dark skin, it means that I'm rejecting someone else because no matter what, I'm not going to give a chance. I'm picking among the demographic of lighter skin for my partner, or I'm picking among the demographic of tall women as my partner. So that's basically what you're saying when you say that you have a preference. You have a preference for light skinned women. That's your preference. Okay, why is that your preference? There must be a reason behind it. You find them more attractive. And that's always what they're saying. Black women are aggressive, we're this, we're that. You find aggression in every race. It goes back to your mental slavery that you're already programmed into, believing that the images that were portrayed of black women from back then, that's what you're working with to say that black women are very aggressive, they're overbearing. Black men are also very aggressive and very overbearing, very abusive. But I'm not going to walk around and stereotype all black men like that because I know that is not true. So why are you walking around and stereotyping all black women and attacking them based on their physical appearance, and at the same time you're saying to them that they should love themselves? It's kind of hypocrisy. You're telling yourself a lie, and it it's ridiculous, you know. It's very ridiculous. So these are the reasons why people bleach their skin. A lot of time it's self-love, a lot of time it's self-hate, a lot of time it's just readjustment, a lot of time it's trending. And you find people in Asia that bleach your skin. And what I realize is that there's not one skin product that does not have bleaching components. When you check out these Asian countries, every single one of them. And I remember a famous journalist in my country were having that topic, and they walked around and they interview a lot of people on the street. And you have to understand how the media does this thing. They're very calculating and they know exactly what they're doing. The journalist, she didn't went and ask intellectuals, she didn't went and ask people that have a certain level of understanding who can explain themselves in a better manner. She went and she asked a few higglers on the street that are hustling what they think about it, and all the answers that they give and the response were based on ignorance. It was just based on illiteracy. You can tell that these people are not highly educated. You understand that they are unable to explain themselves. But there is one thing that I found very unique about that video clip when she was interviewing the women. You notice that the women were wearing gloves on their hand, they had on hats on their hand. And I get to understand that in Asian countries, guess what? They wear the gloves on their hand just the same. They're always under umbrella. They always have a hat on their head to cover because they don't want their skin tone to become dark. So the same thing that is taking place where I am, that's where it's taking place. No, like I said, my channel is based on solution. So the solution to it is, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes, then there will always be war. I'm just joking. King Selassie said that. But my solution is, go out and attack the manufacturers of these products. And you know where the main manufacturers are? They're located in the UK and they're also located in Switzerland. Those are the main manufacturers of it. No, you don't choose to attack these manufacturers. What you choose to do is you choose to attack the weakest link, which is the black woman, or which is black people, because a lot of men bleach also. You choose to attack the weakest link. You're not attacking them, you are attacking the people that are using it. It's almost like you're not attacking the manufacturer of the cocaine, you're not attacking the head of it who sells it or who traffic. You're attacking those who sell it on the street, a nickel bag. Those are the type of people that you're attacking. How are you offering any solution? That's not a solution. You have to attack the manufacturers of these products. So if we want a solution that's practical, let's be practical. Let's be practical. Or you can just leave people alone. You can allow them to be with their one. First and foremost, bleaching did not start today, did not start last week. This thing has been happening from the 60s. I touch on also the topic of skin cancer, where a lot of people are against it. But to date, there has never been a proof, there's never been a proof, I'm sorry, to show that skin bleaching led to melanoma or skin cancer. It has led to discolorization or discoloring of the skin, but it has never led to skin cancer. There's no history to prove that. It's almost like saying ganja smoking give you lung cancer. There's no history to prove ganja smoking. No smoking is good for you, just like no skin bleaching is good for you. Because a lot of them, the components that are in it, a lot of them have salicylic acid, they have all these kind of things in it, But at the end of the day, there's no proof that smoking of ganja give you cancer, because no form of smoking is good for you. It's the same. Skin bleaching products have all these components in it that are not necessarily healthy for you, but at the same time, there's no history to prove of it giving you skin cancer. And if you want to go out and be all healthy, here's another solution. How healthy are you? What are you eating? You're eating pork, you're eating beef, you're eating yam, a whole lot of starch you're intaking in your body, eating a lot of meat, which is also unhealthy, a lot of GMO, a lot of synthetic product. So if we're going to go out and attack one thing, let us go right across the board then. Let's go back to the naturalness. Let's cut out things that are unhealthy for us. Let's go 100% natural, or ital, as what we say in our country. So these are some of the solutions that are I'm offering. So I'm sorry, I'm a little bit distracted today. So I think people should look in themselves and be confident, love yourself, and know what you're doing. Everything choices come with responsibility. So the choice that you make, you know that you have to stand the responsibility and be accountable for it. Doing it. And if you can satisfy yourself to say that, okay, just because it's a trend, it's just because I like it, then you go ahead and do it. I'm not in your way to stop you. I'm not going to preach on a pulpit to people to tell them what they should or should not do, but at the same time, I'm not going to come out and attack those who are against it either, because they have their personal reasons why they are against it. But don't let your personal reasons be based on ignorance. That's all I'm saying. So let's go after the manufacturers as a solution. We can leave people alone. That's also another solution. We can also look within ourselves, sit down and have a discussion with people and find out the reasons, the ills of it, which there isn't much, you know and we can come to a better understanding. When you go over to other places, if you get a passport and a visa, you can go to other places and you can see what other countries really do when it comes to these things. They go hard. If you look at all these commercials, most of them are based on, especially the skincare commercials, most of them are based on what? Based on lightening of the skin. They promote these things in the media. That's why I'm telling you that the media, slavery, are pendulum. Misogyny is also pendulum, because most of them are controlled by who? By men. And they're the ones that are determining what is beauty, what is not beautiful, and all those kind of things. And then we are just pawns in their game. They're using us, for their ego, for their appetite. And so we play into it. So I'm just saying I'm a little bit impractical today. So I'm just saying to you that you can look within yourself and have a discussion with people, you know, to find out some of the solutions towards people who choose to do this and they do it based on ignorance, are not knowing the reason. Like I said, it's so much nuances to it. There's so much nuances to it, and it has been going on from, based on my knowledge, from the 60s. That's when it was really, in full effect. So nothing is new. It has been going on from the 60s, and I'm yet to hear of anybody who has any form of skin cancer, who died because they bleach their skin. I've never heard of it. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but can you show me a report as to when this really happened? Then I'll look within it and I'll research some more and try to find out if there are other solutions. Maybe stop doing it, you know. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not here to preach to the public. So I'm just addressing a topic that people were messaging me about. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't ready. So I'll address it another time when I'm more researched on it. But I'm just I'm just going based on what my mind is my knowledge of it, rather. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy your day.